most people watching this video right now are about to make a $30,000 mistake, not because they're buying the wrong brand, not because they're bad at negotiating, but because they're choosing from the wrong list entirely. The average new car in America today costs $49,248. That is not a typo. That is the actual average, confirmed by Cox Automotive's own January 2026 data. Nearly $50,000 for a car that most families will drive to the grocery store and the school drop-off line. And yet, hiding right beneath that inflated market, there are 7 SUVs under $35,000 that are so loaded with value, so stuffed with technology, safety, and long-term reliability that paying more for anything else this year would be a genuine financial mistake. 7 SUVs under $35,000, and the one at number 1 is probably not the one you think it is. This is Atif Cars, and before a single dollar of your money goes anywhere near a dealership, here's what Consumer Reports, Kelley Blue Book, JD Power, iSeeCars, Edmunds, Cars.com, and CarEdge are actually saying about the 2026 market, because most people never bother to look. We're not going by gut feel, we're not going by brand loyalty, we're going by the numbers, the ownership data, the repair costs, and the resale projections. And what this research reveals is both exciting and, for some of you who have already bought one of the other options out there, a little uncomfortable. Before we get into the countdown, if you're new here and you want content that actually saves you money on your next vehicle, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the bell. This channel does not accept sponsorships from automakers. What you hear here is what the data says. Let's get into it. Starting at number 7, and this one genuinely surprised the research team, we have the 2026 Nissan Rogue. Now, before you close this video because you think the Rogue is just a rental fleet also ran, hear this out, because the numbers tell a very different story than the reputation. The 2026 Rogue starts at $28,415. That is an entry point that puts serious money back in your pocket compared to almost every other vehicle on this list. But the price is not the story. The story is what JD Power said about it. According to JD Power's 2025 Automotive Performance, Execution and Layout study, the Nissan Rogue ranks highest in the entire compact SUV segment for owner satisfaction. Not second, not tied, highest. That means real people who actually live with this car every day, who drive it through traffic and load it with groceries and put their kids in the back seat, those people said the Rogue impressed them more than the competition. And then there's the fuel economy. Kelley Blue Book lists the 2026 Rogue as the most fuel-efficient non-hybrid compact SUV on their best compact SUV rankings, with 31 combined miles per gallon. At current gas prices, that adds up to real savings across 12,000 annual miles. One owner on a car forum put it simply, "I bought the Rogue because it was practical. I kept it because it stopped surprising me with problems." That is the Rogue in a sentence. Straightforward, dependable, and priced to let you keep cash in your wallet from day one. Number 6 is a car that most shoppers walk right past at the dealership, and that is exactly why it belongs on this list, the 2026 Subaru Forester. Hear this carefully. Subaru just dropped the starting price of the 2026 Forester to just under $30,000, and at the same time they made standard across the entire lineup one of the most impressive driver assistance systems in this price class, the iSight Advanced Driver Assist Suite, which includes automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control. Research from Subaru's own safety data shows iSight has been found to reduce rear-end crashes with injuries by 85%, not a marginal improvement, 85% standard on a $30,000 SUV. On paper, competitors charge thousands of dollars more to add that level of safety technology, and the Forester quietly just bundles it in. But here's what really separates the Forester from the crowd and keeps it on this GOLDMINE list: standard all-wheel drive across every single trim. Not an option, not a package you add for $1,500. Every 2026 Forester, from base to top spec, ships with AWD included. For anyone dealing with winter weather, wet roads, or mountain terrain, the math on the Forester versus competitors charging extra for AWD becomes impossible to ignore. The 2026 Forester also delivers delivers 25 city and 32 highway miles per gallon, which is solid for a vehicle with genuine off-pavement confidence. Smart money buys what actually protects you, on the road and in your bank account. The Forester does both.
Number 5 is the car that refuses to stop being excellent even when it tries to avoid the spotlight, the all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5. And this year, Mazda did something remarkable. They completely rebuilt the CX-5 from the ground up and made it bigger, adding 4.5 full inches in length to give it genuinely roomier interior dimensions than the previous generation. They rebooted the interior entirely and powered the new infotainment system with Google's software platform. And the base price? The new CX-5 starts in the low $30,000 range, keeping it firmly inside our $35,000 window in its most compelling configurations. Now here is the kicker, and this is the data point that separates the CX-5 from the competition in a way that should matter to your wallet for years after you drive it off the lot. According to data compiled from repair records analyzed by the Weekly Driver, the Mazda CX-5 carries an average annual repair cost of just $447. That is the lowest among any compact SUV in 2026. Think about what that means over 5 years of ownership. Your neighbor in the Jeep is spending closer to $700 or $800 a year on unscheduled repairs. You are spending $447. That difference, compounded annually, is thousands of dollars that stay in your pocket. The CX-5 also delivers driving dynamics that Car and Driver consistently describes as the most engaging in the segment, which is a category where most crossovers feel like appliances. On paper, the CX-5 looks like a compact SUV. In reality, it drives like a car that costs $10,000 more, repairs like a car that costs $10,000 less, and looks like something from a luxury showroom floor. If you've been getting value from this breakdown so far, do me a quick favor and hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel keep doing research like this instead of just regurgitating press releases. Now let us get into the top 4, because this is where the goldmine conversation gets very serious very fast. Number 4 is the 2026 Hyundai Tucson, and US News gave it a 9.3 out of 10. That is not a marginal score, that is a market-leading score, and it's backed by something even more important than a number. The Tucson is the winner of the 2026 Best Compact SUV for the Money Award, according to US News & World Report, which evaluates vehicles based on reliability, safety data, features delivered per dollar, and ownership value. The Tucson also earned the IIHS Top Safety Plus designation, which is the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety's highest possible safety honor, covering not just crashworthiness, but crash prevention technology. And the starting price? Competitive enough that it undercuts the Nissan Rogue on base MSRP, making it one of the most affordable Top Safety Plus vehicles available anywhere in the compact SUV segment. Here's what the reviewer at US News wrote after driving it. He found the Tucson to be a smooth, competent cruiser with a lot to like. Those are not corporate words, that is test driver language for this car does not disappoint when you actually sit in it. The Tucson comes standard with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, blind spot monitoring, pedestrian detection, and adaptive cruise control, features that a few years ago required a $45,000 luxury SUV to access. The Tucson delivers them for under $30,000 at base trim. That is the brutal truth about the 2026 market. Hyundai figured out how to democratize safety and technology, and the data proves it. Number 3 is the car that beat Toyota and Honda on reliability and then had the audacity to cost less than both of them, the 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid. Starting at just $30,085, the Sportage Hybrid is currently the most affordable hybrid compact SUV in America, but affordability is not the headline. Here is the headline. According to independent analysis published in February 2026, the Kia Sportage Hybrid scores higher on quality and reliability than both the Toyota RAV4, which scores 77 out of 100, and the Honda CR-V, which scores 83 out of 100.
and the Sportage Hybrid comes in at 86 out of 100 on a car that costs $30,085. After driving them back-to-back in the Cars.com 2026 compact SUV comparison test involving 8 different vehicles, the Sportage placed in the top 4 on value, which was the category that carried the highest scoring weight in that test. But wait until you hear the fuel economy number, because this is where things get genuinely extraordinary. The 2026 Sportage Hybrid LX in front-wheel drive configuration delivers 41 miles per gallon in the city and 44 miles per gallon in the highway. The segment average for hybrid compact SUVs is nowhere near those figures. That means you are filling up less, spending less, and contributing less emissions than almost anything in this class, at a starting price that beats nearly every rival. And backing all of this up is Kia's legendary 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, not a 5-year warranty dressed up in press release language. 10 years, 100,000 miles. No competitor in this segment comes close. One owner who posted her review online captured it perfectly. "I was skeptical about Kia a few years ago. That skepticism is completely gone. This car has been flawless at 47,000 miles." The Sportage Hybrid is not the flashiest car in the segment, it's the smartest one.
Number 2 belongs to the vehicle that Kelley Blue Book currently ranks as the #1 best compact SUV in America, the 2026 Honda CR-V. Rated 4.8 out of 5 stars by KBB experts, rated 4.5 out of 5 stars by RepairPal for reliability, which ranks it 6th out of 29 compact SUVs on their platform, starting at $32,370. And here is the thing about the CR-V that gets lost in the noise around flashier competitors. Honda sold 402,000 CR-Vs last year. That is not a coincidence. That is 402,000 individual purchasing decisions by people who compared cars, looked at the data, read the reviews, and then chose the CR-V anyway. The Honda CR-V has 0 recalls on the 2026 model as of this recording. 0. When Edmunds drove every major compact SUV back-to-back at their private test track for their 2026 comparison, they said the CR-V is the best driving vehicle in the group by a significant margin. The suspension is athletic without sacrificing comfort. The steering is well-weighted in a segment where mushy and numb setups dominate. The 2026 CR-V also added a new trail sports trim with all-terrain tires and a rugged exterior package, expanding its appeal to buyers who want off-road aesthetics without giving up daily driver refinement. Owners consistently report going past 150,000 miles with minimal major issues. That is not marketing. That is the lived reality of CR-V ownership, backed by hundreds of thousands of data points. What makes the CR-V the #2 goldmine on this list instead of #1? The answer is coming right now, and it is going to change how you think about the compact SUV segment entirely. Number 1. And if you have been watching this list and thinking the CR-V or the Sportage would take the top spot, this is the part of the video that reframes everything. The #1 goldmine SUV under $35,000 in 2026 is the newly redesigned Toyota RAV4, and the data behind this ranking is staggering. Start with the price. The 2026 RAV4 starts at $31,900. Now here is what most people do not realize about that $31,900. The entire 2026 RAV4 lineup is hybrid only. Toyota made a bold decision to move the RAV4 exclusively to hybrid powertrain across every trim, which means the $31,900 price gets you a fuel economy figure that would have been unthinkable for this segment 2 years ago. The 2026 RAV4 in front-wheel drive configuration achieves 48 miles per gallon in the city and 42 on the highway, according to Toyota's own EPA-verified estimates. 48 city miles per gallon on a full-size compact SUV. That figure destroys what competitors charge thousands extra for their hybrid variants to achieve. But the fuel economy is not even the most important data point. Here is the number that should stop every buyer in the segment cold. According to iSeeCars analysis of over 3 million vehicle transactions, the Toyota RAV4 retains 75% of its original value after 5 years. The segment average is 59.6%.
That gap is not cosmetic. On a $32,000 vehicle, the difference between 75% and 59.6% retention is over $4,900 that you either keep or lose when you go to sell or trade in. That is nearly $5,000 just sitting there, protected by the Toyota badge. The 2026 RAV4 also comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense 4.0 across every single trim, which includes enhanced pre-collision detection, lane tracing assist, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and traffic sign recognition. And Toyota now fits a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster across the lineup, with touchscreens up to 12.9 inches on upper trims, plus wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. The cargo space is 37.8 cubic feet with seats in place. The tow capacity is up to 3,500 pounds. The hybrid battery is covered for 10 years or 150,000 miles, and Consumer Reports has called the redesigned RAV4 a significant improvement over the previous generation in technology, powertrain, and interior quality. One owner who drove the 2026 XLE for 3 weeks before his review wrote, "This doesn't feel like a $35,000 car. It feels like a decision you can't talk yourself out of once you look at what it gives you." That's the RAV4 in 2026. 48 miles per gallon, 75% resale retention, Toyota Safety Sense 4.0 as standard equipment, a 10-year hybrid battery warranty, and a starting price of $31,900. Not because of hype, because of math. This is what a financial decision disguised as a car purchase looks like. So there it is, 7 SUVs under $35,000 that represent the smartest money you can spend in the 2026 market. The Nissan Rogue delivers the best owner satisfaction score in the segment and the most fuel-efficient non-hybrid option under $29,000. The Subaru Forester gives you standard AWD and a safety suite that reduces crash injuries by 85% under $30,000. The Mazda CX-5 costs you only $447 a year to maintain, while delivering driving dynamics that feel genuinely premium. The Hyundai Tucson wins the Best Compact SUV for the Money Award with a 9.3 out of 10 US News score and IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus status. The Kia Sportage Hybrid starts under $31,000, beats the RAV4 and CR-V on reliability scores, delivers 44 miles per gallon highway, and backs it all with a 10-year powertrain warranty. The Honda CR-V is rated the #1 compact SUV in America by Kelley Blue Book, with 0 recalls and 402,000 buyers agreeing last year. And the 2026 RAV4 retains more value, delivers more efficiency, and comes more equipped as standard than anything else in this segment at this price. The market is trying to convince you to spend $49,000 on an average car. These 7 are extraordinary, and none of them costs anywhere close to that number. Now, here is my question for you. Which one of these 7 surprised you the most? Was it the Nissan Rogue satisfaction scores, the Forester's safety numbers, or did the RAV4's 75% resale retention completely change how you were thinking about this segment? Drop your answer right now in the comments, because the conversation down there is always worth reading. And if you're currently sitting on the fence between any 2 of these vehicles, tell me which ones and I will give you my honest take in the replies. That's it for today's breakdown on ATIV cars.